This country right here is Europe's least visited city. It's a country that most people don't think about when they think about Europe. It's a country that most people don't even visit when they're here in Europe. But today we are exploring the capital city of this beautiful country. It might be one of the most unique, and it's definitely the least visited. Welcome to Chisinau, Moldova. This might actually be the largest market I have seen in all. There's just a bunch of stalls out here and it's endless. Like walking from one end to the other, I'm pretty sure will take you about 10 to 15 minutes because it's massive. And if you really want to do shopping and everything, there's just so many sections. There's like a meat section, there's a fruit section, there's a pickle section. There's actually a section full of different pickles, and then we've come to like electronics slash soccer balls. I don't know what the categories are here. I don't know how they categorize them. A lot of little food stalls as well. Also, if you're like trying to look for like a quick breakfast, I think that's what a lot of people do. Incredible this place is, because the wet market behind me, that is insane. I think we've just stumbled upon another section that I didn't even know about. But this entire section here is just fruits, vegetables, and everything. Under this sheltered area, it's packed, people are bargaining, people are buying, it's hectic, and it's crazy to imagine that all these people in Chisinau, very, very impressive, very, very remarkable, and a great way to get a feel for the local life here in Moldova. Now, a few minutes away, not a few minutes, a few blocks away from the main market, beautiful open area right behind me. This is the cathedral garden, and you might be asking if it's the garden of a cathedral. Where's the cathedral? And it's right behind me. This is the Church of Christ's Nativity here in Chisinau, Moldova. It is one of the most important landmarks of the city. So let's go inside and check it out. Church and the church garden are just right over there behind me. But right in front of me is probably the most important landmark here in Chisinau, the most important landmark in Moldova, that when you see this, you know this is a symbol of Chisinau, this is a symbol of Moldova, this is the triumphal arch of Chisinau. Now, it's not the Arc de Triomphe of Paris, it's not even close to being that big, but it is beautiful in its own way. It's got that beautiful sort of classical architecture. You've got the sort of pillars and everything, the Corinthian pillars. It's actually not really kind of an arch, but it's still really, really big. And on the other side, you can see through there is a big flag and a big building. That is the government house. All your ministries are all actually located inside that building. What's really interesting to me is I didn't realize that the Moldovan flag was so similar to the Romanian flag. They're literally the same, except that on the Moldovan flag, there is a crest in the middle on the yellow section. But that just speaks to you as to how close and similar Romania and Moldova are. I was talking to somebody here in Moldova, and they said that what they speak here is actually Romanian. There's no such language as Moldovan. So people here speak Romanian, people understand Romanian, the culture is very similar, and the flag is basically almost the same, minus the crest that only Moldova has. But this building right here, like I said, this structure is one of the most important structures in all of Chisinau. It is the symbol of Chisinau, and like I said, no Arc de Triomphe, but still definitely a beautiful building to come and check out when you are here in the city. One of the greatest sons of Chisinau, Moldova, is a guy named Alexander Pushkin, and he's everywhere here. He's really, really important. His house is right behind me. This is his house museum. Let's go inside and learn more about Alexander Pushkin. So, Pushkin. Who is Pushkin and why is he important? Pushkin is one of the most important poets from Russia. Originally born in Russia, originally raised in Russia, but he moved to Moldova because he was exiled He didn't choose Moldova, he didn't want to come to Moldova, but he had no choice and was forced to come to Moldova instead of Siberia. So definitely a plus, right? You'd rather be in Moldova than in Siberia. Now, this here is his house. This white building right behind me is literally his house on the inside. You see his bed, you see the books that he read, and on the other side is the servants' quarters that would serve Pushkin. But the museum is amazing. It covers a lot of history. It covers like real manuscripts that Pushkin wrote of his famous poems. The original drafts are right there. It is incredible. It also tells the story of his life, how he fell in love with a woman who was part of a gypsy encampment and who ended up being killed by a gypsy who had sort of she had fled with away from Pushkin. It's a very sad story, his romantic life, but still very, very well done. I really like the museum. It's very, very informative. They have it in English, they have it in Chinese, they have it in Japanese, they have it in all languages. They'll give you a little booklet at the beginning, so don't have to worry about that, but definitely an interesting way to learn about Pushkin and his importance and his sort of romanticization of Moldova. Now, if there's one thing that Moldova is famous for, it is wine. They are very, very famous. They produce a large quantity of wine across vineyards all in Moldova, and they're famous. The climate is perfect to grow grapes, and the wines are some of the most famous around the world. This right here is a place called Milesti Mici, and it has the Guinness World Record for the most amount of wine stored underground. It looks incredible, but let's go ahead and see what's inside. Okay, I was completely mistaken. Yes, that's absolutely right. Milesti Mici is the largest underground excavation place with wine. That was just the Milesti Mici store here in Chisinau. The actual cellar with all the wine and everything, that's somewhere out in the countryside, so it's not actually in the city. But still, really interesting. I didn't know that the Guinness World Record for wine held in an underground cellar is here in Moldova. What an interesting fact. But let's go ahead and keep exploring the city. Across from the church gardens that we saw earlier, and you can actually see the triumphal arch is right over there. We've come to this beautiful place. It's the Central Park here in Chisinau. This Central Park is named as the Stephen the Great and the Saint Central Park. And here's a statue of him. Now, who was Stephen the Great? He was one of the founders of Moldova. He was one of the founders of the people here, of the country, the whole idea of Moldova, helping to fight against the Ottomans. Remember, at the time, there was a lot of pressure by the Ottomans on the south. And if you remember our stories in Romania, we learned about how in Romania, there are really three countries. There's Wallachia, there's Transylvania, and there's Moldavia. Well, part of Moldavia becomes Moldova of today, and the idea of sort of gaining independence, of having this idea of Moldova as a nation, as its own people, it's really, really credited to this guy. I mean, the idea isn't, but he definitely helped to promote that sort of goal of making Moldova a country. He's known for being a saint, he's known for being basically the national hero of Moldova, and basically the founding father of the country of Moldova as we know it today. But let's go ahead and explore the park right behind me. You can see the statues right at the entrance of the park, but once you go past it, that's when you really enter the Central Park of Chisinau. I have to say, considering it's the Central Park of Chisinau, this is a really nice park. The fountain behind me, it's beautiful. I did not expect this fountain to look this good. I don't think I've actually seen a water fountain as intricately designed, as beautiful as it is. Looks like on its own it is a building. Like, you've got the arches inside, you've got the sort of water fountain, then it looks like pigeons could like fly in here and just like wobble around in a new home around here. But that is incredible. I'm shocked by how beautiful this fountain is, and honestly, the park is one of the most relaxed places I've ever seen. Everybody here is just enjoying their time. Moms are taking their kids out, families are out here, young people are having fun. It's just beautiful to see this all across the park, and it gives you a really good sense of what life is like here in Chisinau. It's chill, it's relaxed, and it's just made up of people really just enjoying their life in Moldova. But the fountain, I have to say, that is really, really incredible. That is beautifully designed. Now if you look at a map, you'll realize that Moldova is landlocked. There are no oceans, there are no seas that it touches. So what is this big body of water behind me? This right behind me is a lake, and it is one of the most beautiful lakes here in Moldova, in Chisinau. This is Valea Morilor Lake, and it is a beautiful park where a bunch of locals just come here and walk around. But there's a lot of statues here, there's a lot of interesting statues, so let's go ahead and see what the statues are around this lake. As you can see, it's beautiful right now. You've got the sun setting behind me, but we are going to walk around the lake, just a little one walk around. It does look beautiful, and it's just the perfect way to end any day here in Chisinau in Moldova. This right here, it's called the Little Prince statue, and it truly is a tiny little prince right here on the lake. Now, if taking a boat out on the lake is something that might interest you, don't worry, you're in luck if you come to this lake right here. There's a bunch of little paddle boats that you can actually take out into the lake. You can paddle around. I'm not sure what the prices are, but it does look fun. It's just a tiny little boat with a little white shelter on top. So actually, if it's sunny or it's raining, it's a really good idea because you'll sort of be sheltered away from the sun and the rain. But it does look pretty fun. It looks like, you know, something you can just take into the lake and just sort of enjoy the afternoon with. There are actually still some boats right there in the middle of the lake right now, so they're enjoying their time out there. But definitely, if you want to come to the lake and you want to get out and get a boat out on there, a very, very good option to consider. Alright, it's starting to rain, so I don't have much time left, but I wanted to show something really, really interesting here in this park here. And this is the statue right behind me. This is a statue of Lenin, and it's one of the last remaining statues of Lenin in all of Europe. You can see it's beautiful. Like the statues, there's Karl Marx over there, but a lot of them after the sort of whole USSR movement, especially after the 90s, a lot of statues of Lenin were taken away. This is one of the last ones that are left, and fortunately Moldova sort of preserved it. There's currently no momentum to take it down, which is a good thing, but still a very, very beautiful statue that I just wanted to show. Like I said, around this park there are just tons and tons of statues, so there's a lot of statues around here. But with that, it's starting to rain, the sun is setting, and I don't think there's much we can do left because of the rain. But I have to say, Chisinau, one of my favorite cities. I love the people here. They're very, very friendly. They're very, very nice. And the city has a lot of things to do. It's very, very interesting. It's a lot of history, a lot of culture. Pushkin was here, the poet, and we visited his house. Lenin statues. I mean, it really doesn't get much better than that. And I think it's one of the least visited countries, but it really should be visited more. There's a lot of interesting things to see, and the people here are incredibly, incredibly nice. So if you get a chance, I highly recommend Chisinau. The rain is getting stronger, so I'm going to end the video here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more food and travel videos. And I will see you guys on the next one here from Moldova.